Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know how familiar you are with the Second World War and with the German invasion of Soviet Union. One of the problems the Wehrmacht had, and not only, was the fact that the Soviets were coming and were coming and were coming. More Soviets, more tanks, more everything, more T-34s and so on. So there was one problem. The Soviets were coming all the time. It seems like the same problem the West will have with the Russians now. So let me show you this article. Both articles that I have here are coming from the Ukrainian side. So this sounds to me like desperation. If the Ukrainians are reporting this, and use the words they are using, then the things, as I always say, multiply them by 3. Because probably they try to minimize it, and the reality is 3 times what these guys are reporting. Here it is. This is from Kupiansk-Pravda, the first article, which is from today, Monday, July 17th, 2023. Russia gathers over 100,000 soldiers on the Lyman-Kupiansk axis. So this is the first title, and the other one is Kupiansk-Pravda. Russians went on the offensive on the Kupiansk front. So you see here, you don't see what's his name. Zaluzny anymore. You see him, I can't remember his name. But anyway, let's go and see where Kupiansk front is. Where's the Lyman Kupiansk? We're going to access the Russian map. Here it is the easiest, and it's right here, right in the east, far east of Ukraine. Kupiansk is right here, and Lyman is right here. So if I make it bigger, you see here, this is Lyman, and this is Kupiansk. So it's right here. This is the area where the Ukrainians claim the Russians are gathering over 100,000 soldiers in this area. Now, for reference, Bakhmut is right here. So Bakhmut, Marinka, Avdiivka, Marinka. So this is the front where the Russians are pushing through. And here is the area where the Ukrainians are trying to push through, right here. So I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to come here and cut them loose, cut them in two. What's going to happen? So let's read this first article. So Russia has gathered more than 100,000 soldiers of its occupation forces on the Lyman-Kupiansk axis. Sergei Sherevati, spokesman for the Eastern Group of Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on the National 24/7 newscast. And I'm quoting, "The enemy has gathered a very powerful group of force, more than 100,000 personnel, over 900 tanks, over 555 artillery systems, and 370 multiple launch rocket systems on the Lyman-Kupiansk axis." So this is even worse than I expected. For context, Russia deployed 120,000 personnel in Afghanistan at the height of its campaign there. Russia has consolidated its air assault units, its best motorized infantry units, private military companies on the Lyman-Kupiansk axis, and has deployed territorial forces as reserves there. End quote. Sherevati stressed that Ukrainian soldiers are holding the line and preventing Russian forces from taking the initiative in the area. And this is the first article, and the other one where it sounds like desperation here, because this piece of information I provided yesterday on a video that I made last night. And again, according to Maliar, Hanna Maliar, which is the spokeswoman of the Defense Ministry, I think, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, she stated that the Russians continued their offensive on advances and offensive on 2 consecutive days in the Lyman-Kupiansk front. So over there, it seems like the shit hit the fan already, or is about to. And I don't know how these guys will be able to stop that. I don't know if the Ukrainians are trying right now to make desperate phone calls to their guys, and the guys will say, wow, we're losing, we gotta do something. Like what? We are empty pockets. We don't have anything else to send. Well, why don't you send them some nukes? Some volunteers. Where'd you get them? Out of your ass? Or they will send maybe those, I don't know, 40,000 allegedly troops, Ukrainian troops that train in the West at this moment. I've seen 50,000, I've seen 60,000, I've seen 40,000. Those guys will just show up like this, like they are over there. Anyway, let people believe there are that many, this many Ukrainian military located right now training in the Western Europe. I think when those guys come back, how many they are, they come with some other guys speaking different languages. But hey, that's my gut feeling, okay? So let's see what these guys are saying in this one. Russian occupying troops have gone on the offensive on the Kupiansk front. Commander of the ground forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Colonel General Alexander Syrsky. That's the guy right here, I can remember. Syrsky, that's the one. Quoted by the military media center, the operational situation on the Eastern Front remains difficult, the commander of the ground forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reports. In order to stop the offensive actions of the Ukrainian troops on the Bakhmut front, which is south from Kupiansk, Russia is actively transferring additional forces and means, the basis of which are parts of the airborne troops, to this front. So wait a minute, to Bakhmut then? The Russians went on the offensive on the Kupiansk front, setting the goal of defending the defense forces near Kupiansk and continuing the offensive into the depths of the Ukrainian battle formations. In such difficult conditions, oh my, don't say that, I visited the combat brigades of our group and met with unit commanders to adjust our plans and solve problematic issues on the spot. Separately, I worked with the commanders and made all the necessary decisions to stabilize the situation on the Lyman front. It seems that's where the problem is. All commanders understand the importance of the assigned tasks regarding the destruction of the enemy, the continuation of offensive actions, and the retention of the operational initiative on our side. We will continue to move forward, liberating our land step by step. Okay, so that's the problem with the Kupiansk front. And what was the number over there in the other article? 900 tanks, 555 artillery systems, and 370 multiple launch rocket systems. If that's true. Always ask that question, my friends. Be skeptical. Each and every information you receive, look at the person and say, are you shaved? Yeah. Okay. Are you washed? Yeah. Okay. Now I trust you. Neither by appearance, my friends, by consistency. Consistency. Remember that rule. It's not a rule. It's based on studies, where if you tell a lie one time and you're caught, in order to bounce back to where you were before with your trustworthiness, you have to tell on average of 9 verifiable truths. So I think these guys are way down there and they're never going to come back, not even where they came from, because where they came from below zero anyway. Why? Because it was a war. So in a war from the very beginning, these guys are not going to be objective, or they would tell us the truth. So they already started, back there, and now I can't even see them where they're at. Anyway, this seems like a second invasion, the Russian invasion, unprovoked. Sorry. And we'll find out. I will keep you updated on this one. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.